I saw this Mike tweet. It's actually insane how much Young Turks fumbled the ball by cutting Hassan. They could have rode that rocket ship to relevance by bringing in all sorts of new and young viewers, but by actually taking advantage of its popularity. Instead, they backbite and are publicly envious, cringy. And it's about a quote tweet of a clip from, I guess Hassan and Will were on Chuckle Sandwich. Longer clip, Hassan on Chuckle Sandwich explains that Uncle Cenk violated labor regulations, how much he made the first year, and that Unc would steal his sales commissions. I was shocked, but not surprised when I saw this. He had it harder than I assumed. This is straight up like, okay, listen, I am not making a statement that is always true. I'm just making a funny generalization, okay? But this is straight up like the immigrant family business shit, okay? Okay, all right. That's what I will say. That's what I will say. Okay.
I interned there, and I wanted to move to Los Angeles anyway.
Mhm.
And my uncle was like, "Oh, this is an opportunity for me to hire someone and skirt some serious like labor regulations as his family." I worked at the Young Turks, and I made like, I think my first year salary was like $21,000. Like it was under the. I got money back from the government, so I started doing ad sales at the Young Turks, and they needed someone to do like direct ad sales, and they had no idea. They had nothing. Like they had no program dedicated to like, you know, selling ads and inventory. So I basically built that out.
Right.
Advertisement, sales, and operations in its entirety.
Oh, wow.
Because I got on Facebook, and they were like, "You're just going to do all of our Facebook stuff.
Wow.
Like you're demoted. No longer are you doing sales. You're going to do Facebook."
Well, that's because your uncle was letting everybody steal your sales deals. That's true. His uncle would like let him massage a sales deal to the last thing, then someone would swoop it and close it and take the commission.
Yeah.
And his uncle would be like, "Them's the break." So it's interesting because his uncle basically at this point like tries to whiplash this. Like basically be like, "I did all this to motivate you."
Are you on good terms with your uncle?
Yeah, I still love him, but I mean, he was.
I mean, that's like part of family. Like, your family members are gonna do shit that sucks. Doesn't mean you hate them, right?
It's insanity.
Yeah, I have a classic Denims pausing a clip at the last second. Wage stealing from your nephew is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common that family members take advantage of other family members in business operations. I feel like that's the norm, whereas I feel like it is rare to have family members that respect your labor. Imagine respecting and treating your family with respect. Whoa, whoa, what's all this woke stuff over here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wonder if this is a factor why Hassan is so opposed to doing ads in his project, awful private work experience. Probably, yeah, but also ad reads suck. And working in ads when you do politics, it's even worse.
People hate Denims. I missed your stream the last couple days. Happy to be back. Your cat shirt slays.
Thanks. Thanks, Wax. Oh man, Will being that friend that gets angrier because he knows you can't get angrier. Yeah. And like, this is, I think this is actually one of the things that gets me really annoyed about the people who hate Hassan, because it's just, you can recognize that Hassan was lucky in receiving this job and being able to be exposed to media, like political media in this way, and being able to work directly on this channel that's already established and stuff, and understand the how it works and how it operates, everything like that. But also, I hate that they all just say he got it all for free, as if he didn't work for anything. Like, you can still be Nepo baby lucky that you happen to have family members that worked in the field that you eventually wanted to work in, while also recognizing that that doesn't mean that you did nothing. My friend in college was Turkish. His dad took a debt in his name. I remember being incredulous at the idea that he would still be on talking terms with his father. He shrugged, told me he was family. Now I wonder if it's more normalized in Turkey. I mean, I don't know enough about Turkish people or Turkish culture, so I can't comment on that. But I will say, like, I feel like it's not uncommon that immigrant families tend to participate in that behavior. And I think it's because in order to immigrate to another country, you have to be very strong-willed and very certain of yourself. Because it takes I mean, think about how hard it is for people to move from one state to another state. You don't even need to get any new documents. Like, you need to get a new driver's license, but you don't even have to take the test. You just go to the DMV, schedule an appointment, wait 15 minutes, and then be like, "Can I get the new ID?" They take a picture and they give you the new one. That's it. That's like the only piece of paperwork that you need to do. That's it. It's as moving from one state to another state, it's as complicated as moving from one house or one apartment to another apartment, except you have to change like 2 pieces of paper and that's it. Everything else is the same. Everything else. And people don't want to move. People so desperately don't want to leave the cities or even the states that they grew up in. That's how hard it is to move. So in order to be an immigrant, you have to be very certain of yourself and you have to be very strong-willed. And I think behaving in bad behavior and then also being unwilling to change ends up being the like other side of that coin. So like I remember my immigrant parents, they were the same way. And they were also very stubborn, very, very stubborn on things that didn't make sense to be stubborn on. Your DMV must be super efficient. I wait hours. Are you making appointments online? If you don't make appointments online before your DMV visit, you're wasting hours of your life. Like you're actually wasting hours of your life. Like, please, I'm begging you guys, make appointments online. They end up being like 30 minutes, max an hour, max an hour. With an appointment, the latest I've waited was an hour. If you don't do that, you're waiting at least 4 hours. I was waiting in line and I obviously made an appointment because I'm not a psychopath. And the person next to me was like, oh man, you're almost next. And you got here after me. I was like, how long have you been here? They're like 3 hours. I was like, oh. And I had been there like 30 minutes. I was like, did you make an appointment? They're like, no, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, dude, make an appointment. You don't have to waste your life in the DMV. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, dude. You're saving at least like a few hours of your life. But anyways, I think that that's like, just because something is normal and it happens a lot doesn't mean it's okay, right? Like culture is pretty normalized. Obviously is not okay. I think it's the same thing with like the normalization of bad behavior. And I think immigrant families tend to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I'm like blanking. Guilty. They tend to be a little bit more guilty. There we go. Of doing this, like misbehaving in stubborn ways. And I feel like there's a lot more of like family values with a lot of immigrant families. So the idea is I'm allowed to almost like abuse my relationship with you because technically you're allowed to abuse it. And if you needed something, I would drop everything to do it. But like, I disagree. And I think like actually people deserve some respect. And I think like just because you're a family member doesn't mean you just magically have respect. I think there's still mutual respect that should be earned. What is this? Ferengi rules of acquisition?
9.
But remember rule of acquisition number 111. Treat people in your debt like family. Exploit them.
Oh God. Oh my God. You're right. This is especially true with Hassan. Cenk is his mother's brother, and we can all see how close Hassan is to his mom. She hates when they fight. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I feel like it perpetuates generational trauma. I was exploited by my family when I was your age, so I'm doing it to you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Chad. I don't think you should abuse labor violations or, sorry, engage in labor violations just because someone is a family member. I'm just explaining that like anyone here who doesn't have immigrant family members or hasn't really become friends with anyone, if you live in like a majority white town, that's been my experience with my family and also all my friends who've ever had immigrant families are like this. So yeah. And I think again, it just has to do with like the type of personality that you have to pack up your entire life and move to a new country, learn a new language, assimilate with the culture, learn everything that there is to know about society and society's new rules. Like, I think it takes a particular person to do that. And those people tend to be very strong-willed and very stubborn. It's also such a Turk thing to do. Turkish bosses are awful across the board. I'm a Turk, by the way. I don't know enough about Turkish people or culture. I had one Turkish friend, and that's all I know, so I can't comment on it. My son craves the family-owned mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then this classic, yeah, this fucking... Dude, I do think that there is a little bit of buyer's remorse, or rather seller's remorse on the Young Turks side, because Hassan easily could have had a show with them, and they could have done all the producing and taken a cut off the top. but it would have been his show. So he would have been bringing views to the Young Turks. And I think that they know that. And I think that there's always going to be a little bit of bitterness. This is like when you fucking sell Bitcoin at like $1,000 and then it hits $100,000 and you're like, I guess life isn't worth living anymore. I think it's over for me. I think it's over for me. I think it's always been over for me. And then next year it's going to hit $1 million or something. And I think that there's some part of it that they feel that way. This is the iconic clip.
Gary says, speaking of mainstream shows, Jan Cannon, did you know Jimmy Kimmel featured one of Hassan's tweets on last night's show?
I know. Everyone loves Hassan. He's super famous and rich. We got it.
That bitterness broke out of nowhere.
No, it's just, I get it. Like, no, I know. It's super salty. I love Hassan. I'm actually really happy for him. But, like, I also...
Which, to be clear, I don't think that, like, she's lying. I think you can be happy for someone because, like, they're your friend, but also be upset because it's not happening to you also. I think that that's a reasonable stance. I believe that, personally. Maybe you know what? Honestly, I don't even know if I should be generous because every time I'm generous, it's like the moment I'm generous is like the moment that, like, the person strikes back. So maybe I should rescind that statement.
Reflect on my own career and feel like a massive failure sometimes. So I don't like, and not to that. I don't want that to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm not able to. You think the fucking New Yorker is gonna write a fucking glowing profile about me? Are you fucking kidding me? No, of course not. Of course, like. Anyway, I guess I do care a little bit about it.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, oh yeah. Anyway, like, why the fuck didn't I just play video games? Why the fuck didn't I just play video games?
Also, I have to say, I know she's being facetious about it, but like, oh, dude. I'm defending stream. I'm trying to decide if I want to defend streamers or not, because this always goes poorly for me. Well, for any streamer that tries to defend streamers. What I will say is, streaming video games is actually way more work than it looks like it's going to be. Okay? Making an entertaining video game stream is way more work than it looks like, actually. Going live and playing video games is one thing. Streaming entertaining video game content is another thing. No, it's not harder than being a fucking paramedic. No, it is not more difficult than being a fucking paramedic or being a fucking nurse or being a service worker. Okay, no. I think it's harder than sitting in an office and fucking playing Balatro on your computer. And then when your boss drops by, you're like, yeah, I'm really getting, I've been really working hard all morning. Gonna take my lunch break. I should be done with that report 3 weeks from now. I think it's harder than that, okay? I think it's harder than that. All right. If you disagree with me, you haven't worked in an office, okay? All right, that is just factually true. That is just factually true. Okay. Bro, chill. No, I'm happy for you guys. I'm very happy for you guys. I'm happy for all the people that spend their 9 to 5 playing video games. Are you kidding me? Or watching Twitch. I'm so happy for you. You get to spend your work time relaxing? Fuck yes, dude. Hell yes. I want more people to do what you're doing. I think it's fucking sick. All right? I think it's sick. But you have to agree. You're working. Yeah. Yes. When you show up at your job and you play video games for over half the time, you're working. We're not delusional here, chat. We're not delusional. We're not, surely. Don't even get me started on people who work from home, okay? Legit though, it is hard. I'm emotionally drained, I think, to interact with so many people, keep up energy 8 to 6 hours a day. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I work at Blizzard. I won't lie. A lot of the time I spend working or playing our games at my desk. Nobody bats an eye because we work on the game, so it looks like I'm working. Dude, fuck yes. Fuck yes. I am happy to know that any money I've ever spent on a Blizzard game, at least some of it went to you being able to fucking chillax at your job. All right? That's amazing. And I love that for you, okay? I'm very happy to know that. I work as a software engineer. I play games at work 2 hours a day. Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. That's why Hearthstone keeps crashing. Everybody point and laugh. It's a Hearthstone player. Sorry. That was out of pocket. That was mean. I play Heroes of the Storm. I think that that's beneath Hearthstone, to be fair. So you know, who's really laughing at who's really laughing. Anyways.
Maybe I'd be a fucking millionaire if I did that. God damn it. Spilled my drink.
Well, you did spill some tea. Let's get her some too strong coffee, okay?
All right. Sorry, Craig.
All right, guys. So, as you can tell, we're unfiltered and we're real. So, by the way, even though he's my nephew, no, I didn't see that. Anna keeps on top of that stuff 1,000 times more than I do. Haas never, like... Haas and I text every once in a while, and we see each other at family dinners, and that's it.
Stop sending me stuff about Haas, Tom Hank. Doesn't make me feel good about myself. God damn it.
I love Haas.
Shit.
I love Haas's success.
I do too. I want to be successful. Here, I gotta clean this up before it like causes a circuit.
All right, we're out of time. We're out of everything. Okay. Look, media's funny, and it even affects us.
God damn.
Okay, man, this thing's a goddamn mess. We gotta go off to IR, but I hate saying this. I hate saying this, but we're 20 times larger than Hassan. But since he's on Twitch and he's big there, they're like, Hassan, and he's hot.
Clueless.
He works for himself, man. That's why.
All right,
Like we gotta be a big network. Blah blah blah. God damn it.
Salt queen. Okay, anyways, apparently we gotta go. The studio's a mess.
Oh man. Oof. Jeez. Sheesh. How does he measure the 20 times? I don't know. I don't know how he measured that. I don't know. Damn, I wanted to see what this clip was. Someone sent it in chat.
Before you score this test, my understanding is that 60 to 65 or higher, you're probably on the spectrum somewhere.
Mhm.
And anything below that, you're probably not.
I'm gonna be below it. I know it.
Me when I get a score of 127.
Oh my God. Hassan, I got 35.
What does that mean?
Oh my God. That
Did I ace the test?
Did I win?
No,
is
dude.
such a
I'm
high
not.
score.
I'm not autistic.
Yes, sweetie, you won. Yeah, I think I did that and I got like 100, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Watch the Connor eats plants clip in the comments.
Are you
And
questioning if you have
this is-
autism?
This is what I got.
Yeah,
but
no, we know.
No, that's not.
Are you
And
questioning if you
this
have
is-
autism?
Once you're at the point where you're so addicted to streaming, you stream every single day, at least 8 hours a day. I'm How do I explain that? That is a hyperfixation. I don't know that you can do what he does without being at least a little on the spectrum. And the other thing is like if you have ADHD, if you already have ADHD, now it's weird because the literature is currently in the process of being changed. And historically it's been that if you have ADHD, you are more likely to have to also be on the spectrum, right? Now we seem to think that ADHD is actually a part of being on the spectrum, that you can be on the spectrum if you have ADHD. That it's like if you were to make let me draw it because I think my explanation is better if I have a little picture to show it. Pull out the bright green. All right, we're good. But like, it used to be just like kind of like a Venn diagram where here's ADHD and here's autism. And there was a strong overlap of people who had both. That if you had this, you were pretty likely to also have this. There's also like a third one that's like anxiety and depression, But now, from my understanding, the way that they're trying to describe it, or the way that we seem to be moving on this is that, let's say, this is autism. It's more like there's a lot of different flavors that you can have on this spectrum. And you can have, like, let's say this is a little and this is a lot. You can have one slice of autism as a tree. And like this one might be like, I don't know, sensitivity to like touches and smells and textures and stuff. And this one can be like audio based and whatever. And then here's like, let's pretend for a second this one's ADHD. So if you have ADHD, you are on the spectrum or whatever. You just might not have anything else. Or you might also have a couple other. Yes, the autism wheel. Yes. And I think it's just kind of weird because actually Jacksepticeye's video on it was very good. But he basically talked about how, I remember when I was growing up, and probably when Jacksepticeye was growing up, you only had autism if you were nonverbal or you very rarely spoke and you struggled to form meaningful connections as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult. And you had to have all of those things. Like you had to struggle in a very visible way around all the other people with you. And usually you were only, even then, you had to be like pretty nonverbal or close to nonverbal. I was a yapper. It was very weird because apparently I didn't talk for the first 3 years I was born. I was the queen, don't cry. That was me. That was me when I was born. Mom was like, queen, don't cry. I was like, my mom told me that she used to take me to the doctor's office and I would get like shots and I would look at the shot and I would just be like, and then he'd be like, oh, you're good. Okay. Damn, you locked the fuck in. Yeah, okay. Lollipop, here you go. Literally mogging. Yeah. Yeah. And so like they were worried I was hard of hearing or I was deaf or I had some processing issues. But then they took me in for tests and the doctor was like, no, she responds to her name. She understands like not commands, but like requests or whatever. That's not a problem, right? That's not. No, she's good. There's nothing wrong with her. She just doesn't want to talk. She just has nothing to say. And then I grew up a little bit more and I couldn't shut the fuck up. And then I became a streamer. Oh God, Jesus Christ. But anyways, yeah, I think also in general, if you stream a lot, you're not neurotypical. You're just not. Did you go to any speech therapy? No, I don't think so. I do not believe so. I just decided I wanted to speak. I was just like, you know what? Now's a good time to start talking. Silent baby to politics streamer pipeline. Today I speak. You know what? Actually, I got shit to say. I'm gonna say my shit. Oh God. Anyways. Yeah, I think that having the diagnosis can be very important for a lot of people, especially people who have struggled a lot in life on like social cues or on like fitting in or making friends. I think having that diagnosis can be very validating for a lot of people because it's like, no, actually, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just like, these are the traits that I have, and this is going to make these things harder. And it just helps you contextualize your life. I think I've been sort of lucky that I had a lot of bullying that made me stop doing cringe things. And then I got friends who I loved spending time with, who we always spent time together, and they also helped curve my bad behavior. So I think when you have the combination of those two things, when you get a little bullied and you have friends that hold you accountable, I think it helps you grow out of a lot of things and understand a lot of things. And now I think it's just not something that impacts me that much. So I have no interest or desire or need to ever get a diagnosis. But I think for a lot of people, it is something that is very helpful. And I think if it's something that would be helpful for you, then you should consider it. But if you can afford it. But yeah, I just, the old bullying works. I mean, to be clear, I got bullied for stuff that was totally fair and valid, okay? I also got bullied for things that were not fair and valid, okay? And I got bullied in ways that were not fair and valid. But some of the bullying was good, okay? Some of it was good. Yeah. Having the right people tell you that you are weird is good, because the right people will be like, don't do the weird thing, but this other weird thing you do is kind of awesome. Correct. Absolutely correct. Yes. Yes. 100% agree. 100% agree. Wait, you have to pay for your diagnosis in the US? Haha. No. Ha 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 ha. Oh, God. Look at the Naruto girl down the left. That's just denim. No, I was never that weeb. No, I was a secret weeb. I was embarrassed to be a weeb, as everyone should be, okay? You have to understand, anime was not popular when I was growing up. Anime was very cringe. If you watched anime, you were one of the only 4 other people that watched anime in your school. Nobody watched anime. It was not a thing. I think it's still pretty cringe now, but I also think a lot more people watch anime now. But like most of the kids that I went to school with didn't even get on the fucking computer. And there's basically no anime that's streaming on TV other than like what, Dragon Ball Z? Which like I don't even think kids counted as anime when I was a youngin'. If you watch anime, you had a separate table during lunchtime. That's literally what happened to me. I had a separate table with the other weebs. The other 4 kids in the school that watched anime. I'm Asian. Everyone watched anime. You're just describing the white people experience. I mean, I went to a school that was predominantly Hispanic, so I don't know what you're talking about. There was like 3 white kids in my school. I mean, I grew up in New York, so, and I will tell you, I met very few that were into anime. Okay. Okay. That's all I will say. Anywho. The Magic the Gathering / anime table, yeah. Yeah. I went to a school that was 98% Asian, and it wasn't cool to be an anime nerd. Damn. How will that other chatter respond? Shit. Okay, moving on about this. Yeah, I do think that these diagnoses can help a lot of people. I think if you feel like it does impact your day-to-day life, then maybe getting that would actually be very validating, and I think you should consider doing it. But if it's not something that you feel like gets in the way of your day-to-day life, then I don't want to say who cares, because that sounds very dismissive, but literally like autism is just a normal thing that happens in human beings. And if you're a little autistic, who cares? It doesn't matter, right? You just have these qualities. That's fine. Sure. Why not? As a treat.